Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's Karisa from Bismillah and Go, and today big shout out to Ginger who sent me a request for a get to know me video. And so this video is for you guys who did have a couple of questions, and if you did have any other questions that are not addressed in this video, go ahead and comment and I will definitely try my best, inshallah, to go ahead and comment back. And so without further ado, JazakAllah khayr. For all of you guys who have subscribed, and inshallah the information or just the content is beneficial to you and a great reminder to myself. And so let's bismillah and go. I am actually Puerto Rican. I was adopted by a Christian missionary couple, and my dad is half Hispanic and half German, half Mexican and half German, and my mom is Caucasian from Indiana, and those are my adopted parents. I don't know anything about my biological parents. I have 8 other siblings, all my adopted siblings, and they all live on one side of Texas, and I live way on the other side of Texas. I know that you're gonna ask. I am actually the only Muslim in my family. May Allah guide us all. And so, when I moved to this side of Texas, I believe that it was, at the right time, the right moment, moved away from toxic people and toxic situations, alhamdulillah. And I was working at a big major retailer, and I saw my first ever hijabi, and I was super excited but very nervous, and I was kind of like, it took me 2 weeks to kind of go up and ask her, hey, I don't want to be rude at all, but all I know about Islam is what I've seen in the media, and I don't want to live in ignorance, right? My dad is a professor in religions and philosophy. However, I didn't ever, even by accident, really stumble on very much Islamic literature, and what I did stumble upon, I later found out was not accurate. And so I asked her, are only born Muslims allowed to have any kind of knowledge or any part of your scriptures? And she's like, no, what are you talking about? And boom, 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 she just started sending me stuff, alhamdulillah. And I just read and read and read and read, and then I found that I was finding peace with what I was reading because it just kind of really melded with what I already believed. And then one day my son was like, mommy, because I was actually still going to church as I was reading it, and he said, Mom, well, but if Jesus is God and Jesus died on the cross, doesn't that mean that God is dead? And just the innocence of the question, like, but God can't give up his godhood, otherwise he wasn't God, and humans cannot reach godhood, so how does that work? You know what I mean? And I was like, subhanallah, like, what am I really waiting for? So I took shahada, and the first time I did shahada, I was with, by myself, reading it just with the kids or whatever. And then I took another couple of weeks or so to actually get to the masjid, only because I was like, oh, I'm not sure which door I'm supposed to be going through. I know, kind of like, you get it now, right? But at that time I was kind of like, oh man, I don't want to feel stupid and walk into the wrong door or something. And so alhamdulillah, the same person that introduced me to Islam, she actually took me and she was like, it's through here, this is what you do. And so I took shahada again, and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, I've been trying my best to learn ever since, to teach my kids ever since. And may Allah continue to guide me and to guide others around me, inshallah, ameen. And that is my conversion story in a nutshell. So that leads me into my favorite ayat. I did have a previous video about that. It is 2 Al-Baqarah, 2:156, which is the portion Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun comes from. And the reason why, out of everything that I have actually read, and may Allah continue to help me memorize and to continue reading, it stuck to me because of the fact that I had already come from a very chaotic life, and chaotic situations and stuff like that, and I had even then held on to the idea that, at the end of the day, why am I crushing myself, my soul, everything about myself to please these other people who don't even believe in what I believe in, and in fact hated God, and definitely made fun of my efforts and so it just reminded me, like, out of all the chaos that goes on in your life, all the trials, the tribulations, and all of these things, from Allah you come and to Allah you will return, and all of these things that are going on in your life, all the chaotic people, the situations, etc., even the government, they all serve a purpose, and that will glorify Allah whether we understand it or not. But going through these trials, going through these things are going to definitely so to speak, you have the possibility of a soft spot in Allah's heart, and that is really truly what I want for my life and what I remind myself of as much as possible. And that is my favorite ayat. Of course, I am probably going to speak more about that at some point. I'm 100% sure that I will bring it up again. But moving on, I know that she did ask me about some of my favorite things. My favorite color is peacock. Peacock. Why peacock? Because it has my favorite shades of purples, like this typical thing of what you would think of. Greens, those rich greens, the turquoises, the blues, the purples, the coppery colors. So the animal itself isn't my favorite, it's just the colors. But then favorite foods, I don't actually have a favorite food, to be honest. I would probably say my sister, my best friend, who I definitely consider my sister, I would have to say probably her dal is my favorite. If I had to, choose out of everything that I've ever eaten, maybe chicken 65. I really love chicken 65. But I really like to try different stuff like that. I would probably venture to say that really my favorite thing is tea, and I know that there's a myriad of teas out there, and that's exactly the point. I love to try new things. I love to try new teas. And if any of you guys have a tea that you would think that nobody else would have already tried but you have tried, go ahead and comment down below. I will look it up and try to drink it, try to tell you if I like it or not, and that goes about food. My favorite color, my favorite food, my favorite ayat, anything else I was comfortable in. It's kind of harder than you think to actually make a video about yourself. I don't like taking pictures. I know, which is kind of funny because I'm here in front of the camera, but the fact of the matter is, in camera you get to feel the other person, and in pictures it's a very brief snapshot, and so you don't know if that's the person or not, and I'm a very extreme strong believer in transparency. You say and you do who you are, so what you see is what you get with me. I make the conscious effort to make sure that there is no duplicity in my character. May Allah, please, Allah, it's just very important to me. But then the strong belief that, be honest with yourself, because at the end of the day, you and Allah are going to have a very private conversation, and even though other people are going to be there on the day of judgment, they're going to be so worried about themselves and the things that they should have done, the things that they should have said, the things that they said and shouldn't have said, the things that they did and shouldn't have done. Even those regrets that I spoke about in the last video about, how we're gonna have regrets of not speaking about Allah, the friendships that we didn't mention Allah, and stuff like that, even like our work relationships and stuff like that. And so I definitely, that is a very strong thing with me. I am political, although I stay out of politics. I'm quite political. If I see injustice, I will definitely, and may Allah keep me steadfast on that, speak out against it. If I like something, you will know that I like it. If I don't like something, you will know that I don't like it. And so I don't know, if you had any other questions that you expected answered and you didn't get an answer to, go ahead and comment those below and I will give you an answer to it. If I'm not comfortable giving you the answer to it, I will probably tell you I'm not comfortable giving you the answer to that, or maybe I'll do a video on that or something, I don't know. But like I said, please keep a lookout for throughout the rest of the week. I'm not going to make a promise right now which day it's going to come out on, but I will be posting another video because like I said, this one was for Ginger, who requested this video, and the next video inshallah will be more of the lines of the content that I normally post, or better inshallah, better inshallah. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And JazakAllah khair for taking this journey with me. May it continue to be beneficial for the both of us. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's bismillah and go.